BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So Microsoft have recently started rolling out a new version of the PowerToys utility app, version 0.64.0, and this is now the latest release now for both Windows 10 and Windows 11. Now we get a couple of new features with version 64, and as I have posted previously when they were still in development, we get a brand new File Locksmith tool and a host file editor tool. And we also get in the general page, on the home page, we now get backup and restore, where you can backup and restore your PowerToys settings by clicking on backup, and then you can always restore those settings. So as an example, if you are reinstalling the operating system, or if you just need to transfer settings between different PCs and computers if you are using PowerToys on different devices. And then you can also locate that backup folder, PowerToys, which is located in my documents folder, and you can also change the location. So I think a lot of PowerToys users are actually going to find this new backup and restore where you can back up your settings quite handy and quite useful. And then what I would consider to be the key highlight for version 64 is the new File Locksmith, which, as I have posted on previously, is a Windows shell extension to find out which processes are using these selected files and directories. Now this is also very handy if, say, you are trying to delete a file and it cannot be deleted, because a lot of the time when you cannot delete a file, there are still processes that are hanging on and holding on to that file or folder, which are open in the background, which makes it then it doesn't make it possible then to delete a file. So this is also where the File Locksmith will come in handy, where you can actually force delete a file by closing those processes that are holding onto a file. Now, just to do a very quick demonstration, if I just head over to a VLC media pre-recorded file that I've recorded previously, which is now open, and if I right click on that, to get to the File Locksmith in Windows 11, just take note, you're going to have to click on Show More Options because it's located in the Legacy context menu. And here we go, here's the entry, what's using this file. That's the File Locksmith. Click on that, and that will take a moment or two to refresh. And once that's refreshed, we can see VLC universal.exe is open, and here's the process. And then I can always refresh the File Locksmith to refresh the actual the actual utility to see what's holding on to that file or what processes are open. And I can also restart as admin and administrator, and then you can see VLC media player is open in my taskbar. And just to demonstrate, I can end that, and you can see it's now closed the VLC media player and force close that. Very handy though, especially as mentioned if you are trying to and battling to delete a certain file, and also handy if you are just trying to see which processes are actually holding a file open, as mentioned. And then moving on to the next new utility and tool, which is the hosts file editor, and as I have posted previously, is a quick and simple utility for managing hosts file. Now basically what this is, if we just open up the host file editor, there we go, and it'll give you a warning because obviously you don't want to fiddle here unless you know what you are doing. And what this is going to enable, mainly IT administrators, it'll allow IT admins to add, edit, enable, and disable entries. So basically, it gives administrators an option to block or redirect host names, which will be useful if you are an IT admin. The new host file editor now available in the PowerToys utility app version 0.64.0. And that's the new tools, but once again, FancyZones has received another improvement, which it seems to in every update to PowerToys. And just according to the release notes, to quickly go through this, the FancyZone now allows you to set defaults for horizontal and or vertical screens to get better intended behavior for new screens and cases where a monitor RD resets. So that's a new feature that's available now in the FancyZones, which, by the way, lets you create window layouts to help make multitasking easy. And FancyZones is very similar to the snap layouts found in Windows 11. And then just one other thing just to mention for the purpose of this video, the video conference mute, which was a highly anticipated feature a while back, seems to be on its way out. And it says video conference utility is reaching its end of life and will be unavailable in one of the future releases. So Microsoft has added this warning because they are going to be deprecating the video conference mute in the future, and they say that's in version 0.67, which is in 3 versions time. And then over and above those key highlights, we get all the general bug fixes and the improvements which have rolled out in version 64, which is now the latest release for desktop. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.